Hi, in our previous video, we introduced Klutch for central management and on-demand provisioning of dedicated data service instances. Now we'll see it in action, provisioning both container and virtual machine-based PostgreSQL data service instances. First, let's verify that nothing special is running in our developer cluster. The true power resides remotely. So I'm going to do a kubectl get pods-a so that I can show you that nothing special from Klutch is running over here. Now let's deploy a virtual machine-based PostgreSQL data service. As you can see on my screen, I have a PostgreSQL instance type resource, which is a namespace scoped resource which has three fields, mainly service, which basically defines the version of the PostgreSQL instance that we're going to use, the plan, which defines the compute resources that we're going to use, and the composition ref that basically Klutch uses to identify that is it a virtual machine-based solution or a container-based solution. Now we'll use the battle-tested any nice virtual machine-based data service in this example. Now let's first create the instance. Postgres. As you can see, it has been created. Now let's view the file. Let's look at its camel. And as we can look at the state, it's in a deploying state. So as you can see on my screen, the state has turned from deploying to provisioned, which means that your virtual machine database has been provisioned. Now let's also deploy a containerized PostgreSQL data service. The process is quite similar. So if you look at this manifest that I have on my screen, it's quite similar to the one that we had for the virtual machine one. So it's of type PostgreSQL instance. It's a namespace scoped resource, which has the fields service, plan, composition ref, and the only difference is the expose field, which basically tells Klutch that is this containerized database, is it going to be exposed internally within the cluster or externally. So now let's deploy the containerized PostgreSQL database. So kubectl create -f, and it's the K8 PostgreSQL claim. As you can see, it's been created. Now let's get it. kubectl get PostgreSQL instances. Now if I hit enter, you'll see two instances. So we will get the sample PT cluster because that's the one that we created. And let's look at its YAML. So yeah, as you can see, it's in the process of being created. We see that the cluster status is pending. As you can see on my screen, we can see that the database has been provisioned, and it was basically a clustered database which had 3 replicas. Like I initially mentioned, the true power of Klutch resides somewhere else. So we have the application developers clusters and then the central management cluster. The developers create their data services on the developer cluster, which gets synced to the central management cluster. In the central management cluster, that's where everything happens. Now let me show you. So we're in the central management cluster, and let's get the pods. kubectl get pods-a. And over here, we can see that the PostgreSQL container-based database that we created, it exists over here. As you have seen, Klutch gives us flexibility. We can choose the deployment model best suited for our workload. Join us in the next video where we will demonstrate how service binding simplifies connecting your application to to the provisioned data services.